reversing illness by withdrawing identity from the body, a sacred transmission on healing through disidentification, the liberation of the soul from the cage of flesh, opening transmission. The body is not your burden, it is your mirror, and what it reflects is the quality of identification you pour into it. When you call the body I, you feed it with your very self. Your fears become its chemistry. Your clinging becomes its contractions. Your self-image becomes its architecture. But when you withdraw the claim, when you stop calling it mine, when you stop believing it is me, something begins to unwind. A thread unspools from deep within the subtle fabric of your being. And what was once a prison of flesh begins to dissolve into a temple of silence. In today's transmission, we turn not to remedies or rituals, but to the deepest cause of suffering, the belief that you are the body. And we reveal the healing that awakens when you stop holding that lie. This is not medicine, this is metaphysics, and it is more powerful than both. 1. Illness begins when you believe the body is you. You were not born sick, you were born silent. But from the moment you entered the world, they began to name your parts, your hands, your eyes, your heart, your weight. Soon, even your worth became wrapped around what your body could or couldn't do. So when illness came, it didn't just hurt. It shattered the identity that had been shaped around flesh. And this is where suffering begins. Pain is one thing. Attachment to the pain is another. Pain passes through the body. Suffering clings to the idea of self. The ancient rishis taught that the real disease is identification, that all other diseases are expressions of this root illusion. As long as you think you are this body, you will defend it, fear for it, glorify it, mourn it. And when it breaks, your imagined self breaks with it. But if you recognize, truly inwardly know, that the body is a vessel appearing inside your awareness, not the container of awareness, then illness becomes like weather, intense, yes, but not personal. It rains, it thunders, but the sky remains untouched. You are the sky. The body is the weather. 2. Illness is fed by the ego's need to be someone. Let us go deeper. Why does identification with the body persist even when it causes pain? Because the ego doesn't care if it suffers. It only cares that it exists, and illness gives it a new identity to cling to. It says, I am the one with this condition. I am the warrior fighting this disease. I am the special case that doctors can't figure out. I am the exception. I am the chronic, the rare, the misunderstood. These roles are seductive. They give shape to the ego when all else is crumbling, but they also become prisons. The more you narrate yourself as the sick one, the more the body must reflect that story. The cells respond not just to food or medicine, they respond to belief. When the mind says, I am sick, the body is instructed to obey. And so the healing must begin not with treatment, but with the surrender of self-definition. When you no longer need to be someone in the story of the body, the story loses its hold, and the body, no longer serving as a stage for identity, can return to balance, not through force, but through absence. 3. Stillness is the true physician. There is a kind of stillness that heals deeper than medicine. It is not the stillness of posture, but the stillness of identity. It is what happens when the one who is trying to be well, the struggler, the achiever, the seeker simply vanishes, and what remains is just being. In this being, the nervous system quiets, the breath slows, the cells recalibrate, and the body begins to remember how to be whole. Science is beginning to confirm what sages have always known. When the mind becomes quiet, the immune system strengthens. When the fight or flight response is deactivated, inflammation decreases. When identity dissolves, energy returns to the body instead of fueling the ego. But this stillness cannot be faked. It arises not from effort, but from surrender, from resting in the truth. I do not have to be anyone for this body to heal. I do not have to narrate this pain to escape it. I do not have to claim what is simply arising. This surrender is not weakness, it is spiritual power, and the body responds to it like a flower to light. Daily practices to withdraw identity from the body. This path is not passive, it is devotional. It is a subtle, daily invitation to return to the witness. Here are sacred practices to begin unbinding your I from the body. A. Morning witnessing practice. Upon waking, before thoughts arise, lie still and simply notice. Awareness is present, but the body is not me. It is arising within me. Feel the sensations, but do not own them. Let them float in space. No labels, no stories, just awareness. Do this for 10 to 15 minutes before engaging the world. Let this reprogram the habit of I am this form. B. Mirror disidentification ritual. Look at yourself in the mirror once per day. Gaze softly, then whisper, "This is the reflection, not the reflector. This is the costume, not the soul. This is the field, not the flame." Practice seeing the body not as you, but as a sacred appearance within you. See healing. Breath of non-attachment. Inhale. This pain is not mine. Exhale. I am the space it moves through. Inhale. This form is not who I am. Exhale. I am that which never moves. Use this breath whenever symptoms arise. Let it dissolve the clenching of identity. D. Evening. Unwinding meditation. Before sleep, lie down and say, "Everything I did today through this body was just a passing play. I now return to the witness, the eternal stillness, the unborn essence beyond all form." Let this practice unwind all identification gathered throughout the day. 5. Healing begins when the healer is gone. There comes a moment, in deep silence, when you are no longer the one trying to heal, and that is when healing finally begins. You become like the moon, reflecting light effortlessly, silent, still, unaffected by the tides it commands. This is the paradox. When you are most empty of self, the body becomes most full of life, because it is no longer being used as a canvas for personal meaning. It becomes free to return to its natural intelligence. Your bones know how to align. Your blood knows how to purify. Your breath knows how to find rhythm. But they cannot do it when the ego is interfering. Withdraw the director, and the orchestra will find its music again. This is the deepest medicine. 6. When the body does not recover, and why that is not failure. Some will ask, "But what if I do all this, and the body still declines?" And to that we say, what if the illness was never about healing the body, but freeing you from believing you are it? Sometimes the sickness remains, but the sufferer vanishes. And in that vanishing, liberation dawns. You walk through pain, but you are no longer the one in pain. You wear the body, but you are not trapped inside it. You feel discomfort, but it no longer defines you. This is not failure. This is freedom. The goal was never to have a perfect body. It was to awaken the perfect awareness that does not flinch when the body changes. That awareness is what you are, and no illness can touch it. Mystical reflection. Let your healing begin with a question. What if I am not the one who is sick? Let it deepen into a silence. Let it dissolve all stories until what remains is presence without position, awareness without attachment, love without a name. From this sacred stillness, the body will do what it must, but you will be free. You are not the patient. You are not the pain. You are not the person trying to be whole. You are the wholeness itself. And in remembering that, the healing has already begun. Next episode preview. In our next sacred teaching, we enter the domain of intuition and energy perception, the city of knowing who will knock before they do. A deep exploration of premonition, subtle vibrational awareness, and the spiritual mechanisms behind anticipation without information.